One of the questions that comes up most often is what to do when the person you consider your twin flame is no longer interested in you. And of course, it is completely normal to feel confused, hurt, and even a little crazy when this happens. This seemingly painful situation is actually one of the most transformative parts of the twin flame journey. Think about it. Here you are, feeling this incredibly profound connection with someone, experiencing synchronicities that defy logic, maybe even sensing their thoughts and emotions. And yet, in the 3D world, they're pulling away or showing complete disinterest. In this reading, we're going to dive deep into understanding what's really happening when your twin flame seems to reject you. We'll explore the psychological, spiritual, and energetic dynamics at play, and most importantly, I'll share practical insights on how to navigate this challenging phase of your journey. Because trust me, there's so much more going on beneath the surface than meets the eye. You see, what we perceive as rejection from our twin flame is often the most profound mirror of our own relationship with ourselves. You know that feeling when you look in the mirror first thing in the morning and your inner critic immediately points out every tiny flaw. That's the same mechanism at work when we feel rejected by our twin flame. The truth is, they're reflecting back our deepest insecurities and unhealed wounds with the precision of a laser beam. It's like they've been given a cosmic map to every dark corner of our soul that needs illumination. I remember one woman crying that her twin flame couldn't love someone like her. As we dug deeper, it became crystal clear that she hadn't truly loved herself since childhood, when her mother's constant criticism left deep emotional scars. Her twin flame's perceived rejection was actually highlighting this ancient wound, creating an opportunity for healing that no other relationship could provide. This mirror effect is so powerful because twin flames operate on a soul level that transcends ordinary human consciousness. Think of it like quantum entanglement in physics. Two particles that remain connected regardless of distance, instantly affecting each other's state. When one twin appears to reject the other, they're often unconsciously creating the exact catalyst needed for both souls to confront their deepest fears about worthiness and love. Here's the profound truth that most people miss. The pain of perceived rejection from your twin flame isn't actually about them at all. It's your soul's way of bringing your attention to the places within yourself that need love and healing. Just as a master sculptor must first see the flaws in the marble before creating a masterpiece, this rejection is actually illuminating the exact areas where your soul needs to grow. Remember, in the grand cosmic dance of twin flames, there is no such thing as true rejection, only reflection, redirection, and the opportunity for profound spiritual growth. When we can embrace this perspective, even the most painful experiences become sacred teachers on our journey to wholeness. The question isn't, why doesn't my twin flame want me? But rather, what parts of myself am I not yet fully embracing? This shift in perspective changes everything, transforming what feels like rejection into an invitation for the deepest self-love you've ever known. Have you ever watched a wild horse being approached by a human for the first time? That magnificent creature, sensing the intensity of potential connection, will often bolt away in pure instinct. Not because it doesn't feel the pull, but because the very power of that pull triggers its deepest survival mechanisms. This, my dear friends, is exactly what happens in the phenomenon we call twin flame running. You see, when twin flames meet, it's like two galaxies colliding in space. Magnificent, inevitable, and absolutely terrifying in its transformative power. The runner isn't just dealing with normal relationship fears. They're facing what psychologists call ego death, the complete dissolution of everything they thought they knew about themselves and their place in the world. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, knowing that jumping means flying, but your logical mind can't compute how that's possible. That's the runner's paradox. The fascinating thing about twin flame running is that it often intensifies in direct proportion to the potential for spiritual growth. It's as if the soul knows exactly how much transformation is possible, and the ego responds with equal and opposite force. A perfect demonstration of Newton's third law on a spiritual plane. The more potential for awakening, the stronger the urge to run. It's actually quite beautiful when you think about it. This cosmic dance of approach and retreat, each step choreographed by the divine for maximum soul evolution. What's particularly intriguing is how this running pattern often mirrors ancient spiritual traditions. In Sufi mysticism, there's a concept called fana, the annihilation of the self before divine union can occur. The runner, in their desperate attempt to maintain their familiar sense of self, is actually participating in this ancient spiritual drama without even knowing it. They run precisely because, at some deep level, they recognize that this connection will require them to die to their old self and be reborn. The running is not a mistake or a failure. It's often a necessary part of the journey. It creates the spiritual tension required for both souls to grow. Just as a rubber band must be pulled back to propel something forward, this separation creates the potential energy needed for profound transformation. The runner's paradise is actually a crucible of transformation, though it may not look like it from the outside. So next time you find yourself asking why your twin flame runs, remember, they're not running from you. They're running from the magnitude of their own awakening. And in that running, they're actually serving both your highest good and their own, even if neither of you can see it yet. You see, surrender in the twin flame journey isn't about giving up. It's about giving in to a higher wisdom. The universe operates on principles far more sophisticated than our human minds can comprehend. In quantum physics, there's a fascinating phenomenon called the observer effect. The mere act of observing a particle can change its behavior. Similarly, our desperate observation and attempted manipulation of the twin flame connection can actually alter its natural course. When we surrender, we're not giving up our power. We're aligning ourselves with a higher order of love that transcends our limited understanding. The principal ancient Taoist philosophy called Wu Wei perfectly describes the surrender phase of the twin flame journey. When we stop trying to control every aspect of the connection, we create space for divine timing to work its magic. It's like learning to float in water. The moment you stop struggling and trust is the moment you discover you were always supported. Surrender isn't about becoming passive or accepting less than you deserve. It's about trusting that the universe has a plan far more beautiful than anything you could orchestrate with your limited perspective. When you truly surrender, you're not giving up on your twin flame. You're giving up the illusion of control that was keeping both of you stuck in patterns of resistance. And perhaps most beautifully, in surrendering your attachment to how the connection should look, you often find yourself. This is the ultimate paradox. In letting go of the desperate need for union with your twin, you often achieve the very union you were seeking, first with yourself, and then, when divine timing aligns, with your twin flame. Because remember, the twin flame journey was never about finding another person. It was always about finding yourself through the mirror they provide. So if you're struggling with surrender right now, know that you're not alone. This is perhaps the most challenging yet transformative phase of the twin flame journey. Trust that your surrender isn't an end. It's a beginning. It's not a sign of weakness, but the ultimate demonstration of strength and faith in divine timing. After all, sometimes the bravest thing we can do is simply let go and trust that what's meant for us will never miss us. Let me share something that transformed my understanding of twin flame rejection. What we perceive as rejection in the 3D world is actually a carefully orchestrated spiritual catalyst designed with almost mathematical precision to trigger exactly the growth both souls need. Think about how a diamond is formed. It requires intense pressure, darkness, and what appears to be absolute isolation. Yet without these seemingly harsh conditions, the carbon would never transform into something so brilliant. Your twin flame's apparent rejection is creating exactly this kind of spiritual pressure cooker, forcing both souls to face their shadow aspects and transmute them into light. I've witnessed this in my practice. When one twin rejects the other, both individuals invariably begin experiencing unprecedented spiritual awakening experiences, often simultaneously, though separately. What's particularly fascinating is how this mirrors ancient alchemical processes. In medieval alchemy, the stage of nigredo, or blackening, was considered essential for transformation. It's the phase where the material must be broken down completely before it can be rebuilt into something more refined. Your twin's rejection is initiating this exact process on a soul level. Every moment of pain is actually a moment of profound energetic restructuring, every tear a sacred offering to your mutual transformation. The real mystery here isn't why they're rejecting you. It's why your soul chose this particular dance of separation to catalyze its evolution. Consider this. In quantum physics, particles can only become entangled after they've been separated. Similarly, twin flames often need this period of apparent rejection to establish the energetic foundations for a higher form of union, one that transcends the physical plane entirely. Remember, This journey isn't primarily about romantic union. It's about spiritual ascension. The rejection you're experiencing is actually a sophisticated spiritual technology designed to activate dormant DNA, clear karmic patterns, and align both twins with their highest possible timeline. When we can shift our perspective to see rejection not as a roadblock, but as a gateway to transformation, we begin to understand its sacred purpose in the grand tapestry of our soul's evolution. And here's the most beautiful paradox of all. The moment you truly understand that this rejection is serving your highest good is precisely the moment it begins to lose its power over you. Because in truth, there is no rejection in the spiritual realm, only redirection toward your most authentic, awakened self. Let's be real for a moment. Feeling rejected by your twin flame can feel like your soul is being torn in two. But here's the beautiful paradox of this sacred journey. What feels like rejection is actually an invitation to the most profound love story of all, the one with yourself. Remember, this isn't just about getting someone to want you or accept you. The twin flame path is a divine orchestration designed to guide you toward your highest evolution. That perceived rejection, it's actually a cosmic redirect, pointing you back to the most important relationship you'll ever have, the one with your own soul. Think of it as spiritual alchemy. Every moment of pain is transforming into wisdom, every tear into clarity, every feeling of unworthiness into an opportunity to discover your inherent divinity. When you shift your perspective from "why don't they want me" to "how is this helping me grow?" swing, something magical happens. The energy shifts, the pressure lifts, and often that's precisely when unexpected transformations occur. And who knows? Once you've done this inner work and found that unshakable peace within yourself, you might find your twin naturally gravitating back into your orbit. But by then, you'll be whole enough not to need their presence to validate your worth. That's the true victory of the twin flame journey, discovering that you were complete all along. Remember, in the grand tapestry of divine timing, nothing is ever truly rejected. It's just being perfectly orchestrated for the highest good of all involved. Trust the process, dear ones. Your journey is unfolding exactly as it should.